School principals, have you ever had to punish someone for something completely absurd? I was the principal at Westridge High for 15 years, and let me tell you, some of the rules in our district handbook were completely absurd. But the worst one, without question, was the no visible tattoos policy. It was added after a new conservative superintendent took over and decided we needed to restore discipline and traditional values. The policy was zero tolerance. No exceptions, regardless of what the tattoo was or what it represented. One morning, Sarah Jenkins, our star volleyball player, student council president, and valedictorian, came to school with a small tattoo on her inner wrist. It was just a semicolon. Small, subtle, neatly done. But Mr. Hoffman, our vice principal, noticed it during morning announcements and sent her to my office immediately. He was a stickler for policy. If the rule was there, it had to be enforced, no matter what. When Sarah sat down across from me, I could tell she already knew what this was about. She looked nervous, not defiant, not argumentative, just scared. I asked her to tell me about the tattoo. She looked down at her wrist and said, "It's for my brother. He died last year." She paused. "He took his own life. The semicolon. It's for suicide awareness. It means your story isn't over." Her voice cracked a little when she said that. I got it for him. And for me. Sarah had never been in trouble. Not once. Her GPA was a 4.0. She had multiple scholarship offers and had just submitted her application to Princeton. A 3-day suspension would go on her record and could easily derail all of it. I called her parents. They were in my office within the hour. Her mother was livid. Not at Sarah, but at the school. She said, "You're telling me that after everything she's been through, after everything she's overcome, you're going to punish her for this?" I didn't want to, but the policy was written in stone. I told Sarah to return to class while I processed the paperwork. Instead, I spent the next hour on the phone with the superintendent and every board member I could reach. I explained the situation, Sarah's record, what the tattoo symbolized, and how much was at stake for her. No one budged. Rules are rules, they all said. We can't make exceptions. That afternoon, I made a decision. I called Sarah back to my office and handed her a small box of skin tone band-aids. "Keep your wrist covered during school hours," I said, "just until graduation. Then you never have to cover it again." She blinked back tears and nodded. The next morning, I walked into the building and froze. Nearly 400 students were wearing band-aids on their wrists. Some had drawn semicolons underneath. Others had names, dates, or small notes written in pen. "You matter. Keep going. Stay." Word had spread, quietly, then rapidly. A few teachers wore them too. The hallways were silent in a different way that morning. You could feel it. By lunch, the local news had picked it up. A student had posted about it online, and it went semi-viral. Emails poured in from parents. Alumni wrote letters. Mental health organizations reached out. The story had taken on a life of its own. That week, the superintendent called me back. This time, not to enforce the policy, but to let me know that the board was holding an emergency meeting. 2 weeks later, the board voted to revise the tattoo policy. Zero tolerance was removed. Exceptions were now allowed for meaningful, non-disruptive tattoos, including those related to mental health awareness. Sarah graduated with honors, no band-aid. That fall, I turned in my resignation, not because anyone asked me to, but because I realized I was done working in a system that would rather punish a grieving teenager than rewrite a rule.